kind of pry open the back, and from here we can insert the battery. So even when the switch is turned to off, the alarm clock still functions. It turns on like a regular alarm. You can still set the time, but if you turn it to on, that's when you start turning on Wi-Fi and the motion as well as video recording capabilities. And you can see a red and blue LED underneath here that gives you an indication. But on the front, there's no other LEDs. Moving into the software, I do want to quickly point out that this camera does record at full 1080p, as you can see here, which is rather impressive, and indeed you can install the driver on your computer to set it up so that you can monitor it using the software that they've installed. In fact, if you switch over to the instruction manual towards the back here, these are all screenshots that were captured on Windows, so you can put it onto your computer if you want a larger display. So moving over to the app, it's a free app and it's called HD Minicam. It's a pretty generic program, but it works rather well. And in order to bind the camera, you tap on the plus key on the top and you have three options. The first, which is connecting to a camera that's already online and connected to your home router. The second, which is adding a camera manually, that requires scanning the QR code on the back of the camera to bind it using your phone. And the third process is setting up using Wi-Fi, which is the one that I'm going to show you here just because it's the fastest in my opinion. You simply turn on to Wi-Fi settings on your phone, connect to the camera's Wi-Fi, and then you enter your home's router information so that the camera can then be connected to the internet. And we're done. The camera is now connected to the internet, so I can access it wherever I go. I can just open up the app on my phone and be able to see what the camera is seeing right away. You can actually add multiple cameras using this app if you purchase multiple sets. And down below here, I can take a look at snapshots of photos I've captured, as well as videos I've recorded, and alarms triggered by motion or by sound. I can digitally zoom using pan and tilt. As you can see here, the tree leaves in the background are slightly shifting around, and that works pretty well. It's not optical zoom though, so you lose detail as you physically zoom in. And here's a quick sample of what the black and white IR night vision looks like. You can see everything is in black and white, but it still looks like it's daytime in terms of brightness is concerned. The IR lights are actually pretty effective, and I'll show you another demo in a second of a shot within the room that we are in, but it can illuminate subjects from 12 to 15 feet away without too many problems. The skies are a little bit overexposed, and the trees here are slightly pale. In real life, it's definitely closer to a lime green, so it's a more contrasty color, but on here, it's definitely darker in terms of the shadows, so not quite as detailed as perhaps a more expensive home security cam. But the most important thing is that you can definitely make out most of the details without any issues. And we're back into kind of this desk setup, so you can tell that this is what the camera looks like when we are indoors. Taking a look at some snapshots that I just captured here, this one was just a few moments ago, again in the office, and you can tell that in relatively kind of average lighting conditions, so there's no other lamps turned on in the background. It still is making out these objects without too many problems and doing a decent job overall. So that's the full HD Wi-Fi hidden camera alarm clock. Overall, I would say it actually works a little better than I was expecting. The 2000 milliamp hour capacity battery means that it's actually able to go for a little less than a week before you need to recharge it if you're viewing it back using the app sporadically. So it doesn't need to be plugged in at all times. The size of the unit is also very compact, meaning it can also be used for traveling and other situations as opposed to just leaving in one spot. And it does look convincingly like a regular alarm.